न भूमिर्न तोयं न तेजो न वायुः न खं नेन्द्रियं वा न तेषां समूहः अनैकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्येकसिद्धः तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्।
उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम् अन्तर्यस्य बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमतामज्ञानमुन्मूलयन् पश्यन् विश्वमपीदमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। शमातिषट्कैरतिभद्रकूटं समानबुद्ध्या च निरस्तकूटं समाहितान्तःकरणेषु गूढं भजामि मादः शिवबोधमूढं सम्पूर्णम् आत्मानमाकाशकल्पं सम्पद्य नित्यं परमे समाधौ कथावसानीत्यधुना भणत्वं श्रुत्यम्बसा पूर्णजगत्प्रसिद्धे। The purpose of life is to realize God, and that is possible only in a human birth. That is why all the Shastras, they say to be born as a human being is a great blessing. But even after getting this birth, if the person is not getting this discrimination, viveka, that there is a higher purpose in life, because without that higher purpose, even if you inherit good qualities, there is every chance that you will leave them. If you have that higher purpose, even if you have the worst qualities in you, very soon you will become a noble person. This is the science behind it, which Bhagavad Gita Bhagavan says, apichet suduracharaha. Even if he is sudurachari, very worst character person, fallen person, bhajade mamananya bhag, if he worships me, sadhureva samantavyaha, he should be considered as a devotee, a good noble person, because samyak vyavasito hi saha, he has taken the great resolve. Chipram bhavati dharmatma, even if he has some flaws in his character, very soon he will become a dharmatma. his senses, body, mind, everything will become pure. Shashvat Shantim Nigachadi, he will find true peace inside him. Kaunteya Pratijanehi. O Arjuna, on my behalf you take the vow. Name Bhakta Pranashyati, my devotee, one who has taken to spiritual life, a true Bhakta will not get destroyed. He will not have a bad end. So this is the promise given by Bhagavan. So a person, if he turns towards Bhagavad Bhakti, then life becomes meaningful. Otherwise, even if you are a big scholar, bhuktaye natu muktaye, as Sankaracharya puts it, it gives you good food, it gives you money, it gives you all comforts, all pleasures other than that experience of fulfillment. Natu muktaye, not for liberation. So hence, Bhagavad-pada sings this song, Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja means do sadhana. Bhaja, that word, it indicates everything that is spiritual. Whether it is meditation, whether it is japa, whether it is study of scriptures, whether it is any kind of austerity that you do with a higher purpose. So do that. Make a move towards the eternal. Bhaja Govindam. That Govinda means Atma. In Vishnu Sahasranama bhāshya, Sankaracharya gives meaning like that. Gobhihi Mahavakyihi Vindate. That which is to be known through the Mahavakya. Like Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi. Prajnanam Brahma. Like that. That Mahavakya gives you the meaning. The implied essence of Mahavakya is being indicated by the Nama Govinda. That is why in Govindashtakam, Sankaracharya begins like Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Nityam. So it is Satyam, truth. Jnanam is pure awareness. Anantam is the boundless, infinite. Nityam, permanent, eternal. So, Govindam bhaja mudhamate. Don't waste your time in anything else. The very beginning is with study. With too much unnecessary preoccupation with education, not education. Education, Swami Vivekananda gave a definition. He said, education is the manifestation of perfection that is already in man. It is the manifestation of the perfection that is within you, because perfection is the very nature of our self. But if you try to make the body perfect, it is impossible. If you make the senses perfect, it is impossible. If you try to make the mind perfect, then also it is impossible. You have a perfect center in you. You just recognize that. That gives you that state. So that knowledge of the Atma, which is eternally free, is true education. And the rest, the worldly life. We need food, we need water, we need a place to stay. Only that much. One devotee asked Bhagavan, Ishvara, he did lot of austerity, and Shiva appeared before him and asked him, what boon you want? He said, give me water, give me food, give me clothing, and if I ask anything else, say no. That is the fourth boon. Shiva said, I will give you 4 boons. The first boon is food, second is water, third is clothing, and fourth is, if I ask anything else, say no. So, here Sankaracharya is giving a complete teaching in this Bhaja Govindam. Life is very ephemeral, very transient. Today you see someone, tomorrow you get the news, he is gone. Malayalam, there is a beautiful song by Poondanam where he says, Kandu kandang irikkum janangale. Kandillennu varuttunnathum bhavan. You are seeing the same person, suddenly you see he is no more there. Nalinidalagatar jalam atitaralam tadvad jivitam atishaya chapalam. It is a great wonder. Unbelievably chapalathukku enna solradhu, transient, impermanent. Somehow we are managing, as we very often we say, like managing a gooseberry in nose, balancing a gooseberry in nose. You keep a lemon in nose. Generally you will see the buffoon doing that. We are all buffoons, trying to balance a lemon in the nose. There is no wonder that it falls. Wonder is that it is staying there. Like that, all these things, somehow we are keeping it alive. And in this worthless living, abhimana grastham, lot of vyadhi also. The more medical science grows, more complex becomes problems of health. More complex. And they won't allow you to believe that you are healthy. Vyadhi, abhimana, all these things. Education gives you abhimana. Wrong living gives you vyadhi. And shokam. With all that, shokam also. So much of incompleteness everywhere. Unfulfillment. Sorrow. Suffering. You see, very highly developed nations, you go there, people are very happy. No. They are very complex, very sad. Unimaginable problems. So you cannot hold to money, you cannot even hold to health. Yavad vittoparjana shaktaha, all these relatives are there. Every day inquiring, taking care of, till you earn money. Tavan nija parivaro raktaha. As long as the person is working, everyone is attached. Pashat jivati. After that also, you are destined to live. Jarjara dehe, when the person becomes old, nobody asks. Vartam kopina prichati kehe. People do not even inquire, how are you? That is why these old people, they will be sitting in the veranda in villages. Whoever passes that way, call and talk, because nobody talks to them. So come here. So generally youngsters, they will just see whether that old man is sitting there. Don't go that side. Now they are all very disciplined because they have TV, mobile. All gossip serials are there. Never ending gossip. So very, very peaceful. So this is the world. Kopina prichati gehe balastavat kridasakta. Childhood they play, not like Prahlada. Prahlada says even when you are a child you should do bhakti. Nobody is doing that. Kaumara acharet praknyaha dharman bhagavataniha. Durlabham manusham janma tadapi adhruvam arthadam. Kaumara acharet praknyaha dharman bhagavatan. When the person is a Kumara, young, then Bhagavata Dharma must be practiced in young age. Nobody does like that. Even if the child sits in doing japam, father and mother will not allow. Do homework. Constantly we can only say that homework, homework, homework. And they remember this mantra, homework, 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 homework. And at last they go for work and father and mother to old age home. That's all. This is the sad situation. So, and the most well-known verse in Bhaja Govindam is Satsangatve Nissangatvam. Everybody knows that verse. Satsangatve Nissangatvam Nissangatve Nirmohatvam Nirmohatve Nishalatatvam Nishalatatve Jivan Mukti. Complete verse. We will see this verse one by one every day along with the regular Katha. So now we are having the story of Sankaracharya. Sankaracharya is in Kāśi, where incidents after incidents are happening. Manisha Panchakam, worship of Vishwanatha, worship of Annapurna Sthava. Now this Mohamudgara, Bhaja Govindam. Now Bhagavad-pada revealed his inner shift, that idea that has possessed him, that he should go to Himalayas, to Badrikashrama, where Ishvara has given him the instruction to write the bhāshya, the commentary of the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra, the Prasthanatraya Bhāshyakara. So that decision arose. He told Sanandana, now we have to make a move. Whoever comes with me, they can come. So some of the elderly sadhus, they have no other way. They have to follow Shankara wherever he goes, because it is the instruction of Govinda Bhagavad-pada. And Sanandana followed. Some other youngsters were also ready to do that. And now they moved the entire Kāśi, worshipped in every nook and corner of Kāśi, because Kāśi is so pavitra. See, when Sri Ramakrishna came to Kāśi, from Calcutta they came by a ship. Mathuranath Bishwas, the administrator of Bhavatarani temple, he took Ramakrishna in a big ship and they came to Kāśi. Before reaching Kāśi, Ramakrishna stood in that open area in the ship and looked at Kāśi from a distance. And he saw the entire Kāśi as gold, made of gold. So Suvarna Nagari, as the Puranas say, Suvarna Nagari. And he had a vision of Shiva giving Tarakopadesha to every jiva that is dying in Kāśi. This also Sankaracharya tells in Rama Bhujanga Prayata Stotra. Yada varnayat karnamulenta kale Shivo Rama Rameti Rameti Kāśyam Tadekam Param Taraga Brahmarupam Bhajeham 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 Bhajeham. He says this in Rama Bhujanga Prayata. Yada varnayat karnamule. Karnamule means in the ears. Antakale, in the last moment of one's life, Shivo Rama Rameti Rameti Kāśyam. In Kāśi, Shiva is giving this Taraka Mantropadesha. So Ramakrishna had that vision. So Bhagavad-pada moved about in Kāśi everywhere. There is a beautiful temple called Bindu Madhava. In Kāśi it is Bindu Madhava, and in Rameshwaram it is Setu Madhava. So in between, this is the country. So there Bindu Madhava, and near that Bindu Madhava temple you have this Trilinga Swami Samadhi. If you go there you can see that. Trilinga Swami who lived more than 200 years in front of everyone, moved. He was called the moving Shiva in Kāśi. Ramakrishna went to Kāśi. One purpose was to meet Trailinga Swami. They had a meeting. So, this Trailinga Swami will move naked. He will not talk. Sometimes he will be floating in Ganga. He was moving naked, so British police, they told him to wear clothes, but he was not wearing. They tried to forcefully give him clothing. He just threw them away. They put him inside jail. And after some time, the policeman who locked the jail was very short. He could not put the key in the hook there. Then somebody was helping. He looked at this Trailinga Swami standing behind. He was such a Siddha Purusha. Many stories are there about him. You can visit his samadhi there. So Trailinga Swami, actually what they say is a Telugu person. So it's called Telugu Swami. Telugu Trailinga Desha it is. So entire Kāśi Bhagavad-pada moved, and Kala Bhairava is the local deity. He is the guardian deity of Kāśi. So there also Bhagavad-pada went and did worship. You will get beating there, slap. They will tie the raksha and give you. In your back you will get slap. So Devaraja Sevyamana Pavanangri Pangajam Vyala Yajna Sutramindu Shekaram Kripakaram Naradadi Yogi Vrinda Vanditam Digambaram Kāśika Puradhinatha Kala Bhairavam Bhaje. Then they went to Adikeshava temple, very beautiful temple on the bank of Varuna. And from there, Adikeshava in one end and Sangameshwara in another end. In between dwells Vishwanatha. So when Acharya had taken the decision to go to Badri, the king of Kāśi came to him, did his usual Pada Puja, everything, and said, you have to accept all the necessary things for your travel. So he brought a big boat. In a boat, requested him to accept vehicles, attendants, everything. See, later on, Shankaracharyas, they used to move like that. From some, when Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami, or before Nrsimha Bharati Swami, or even Kanchi Paramacharya Chandrasekharendra Saraswati, when once he started moving, he came back to Kanchipuram, I think, after 27 years. It's not one, because they are walking and there will be horses, elephant, camels, everything with them. Because all the things, objects, they are the puja materials, and every necessary item should be carried. And later on also, even after getting car and bus also, as a rich tradition, they used to carry them. I have seen Jayendra Swami coming with them. So that will be an interesting thing to watch. You can see camel, you can see elephant, all these things. But Bhagavad-pada said, as long as we have the feet, we will just walk, nothing is needed. But the Raja compelled him to take something. Then he said, arrange for a person, a local person who knows the way, who can guide and who knows the languages to deal with people on the way. So that was very well arranged. And early next morning, the group set out from Kāśi. They journeyed along the bank of the Ganga. That morning, as they stood on the bank of the river ready for a dip, a tall, dark brahmachari with thick, matted hair, carrying a bundle and a water pot, approached them. Shedding profuse tears, prostrated to Acharya. His clothes were filthy and the body was lean due to lack of proper food and nourishment. The disciple who served as a attendant to Acharya became alert, came forward, considering some madman has come. Sometimes, all these gurus, they need some attendant. Even with Bhagavan, Krishna Swami, they will not allow anybody to come near. They will fire people. Because the so-called spiritual aspirants and devotees, they are sometimes complaint also come. These attendants are not allowing anyone to come near. What to do? Sometimes mad people come in the name of spirituality. One person came and he licked Bhagavan's feet and even gave a biting. Bhagavan's fingers got bitten. So, such madness comes along with spirituality, and many people think that that is devotion. Imbalance is devotion. So, this person came forward and suddenly Acharya looked at him and his eyes became luminous with love and recognition, and tears came, and he just hugged him and said, Vishnu. And this Vishnu is from Kaladi, from Sankaracharya's birthplace. He is a young friend of Acharya Shankara, and we left that story actually. When Shankara was about to leave Kaladi, they had a discussion. And when Shankara said, I am going to take sannyas and leave this place, then Vishnu asked Bhagavad-Pada, that story is there in the Sopanam 7 of Atmatirtham, can one attain liberation simply by renouncing everything? Will the fruit taste sweet if one plucks it before it is ripe? At that moment, a ripe mango fell down from a nearby tree. Then Shankara remarked, Yatha Vishnu phalam pakvam swayameva patishyati tatha samsara bandhoyam viraktasya vimukhyate. As a very ripe fruit falls by itself, so too this samsara bandha for a dispassionate one naturally falls. So this Vishnu has, after Shankara left, he could not stay there. And he, just like a mad person, he had no clue where Shankara is. He searched for him everywhere in Bharata Desha. And now he has found Bhagavad-Pada. This attendant of Sankaracharya, he said, move, who are you? He said, he didn't even give reply and looked at Shankara. And Sankaracharya looked at him and asked, Hey Vishnu, kathamasti bhavan? How are you? He said, Bhagavan janami tvam Shankaram Parameshwaram. I know you, that you are Parameshwara himself, Shiva himself. Bhavantameva mrigayan. Searching for you here and there, agatoham swadeshataha. I have come from our place, searching you here and there. I see you truly as Shankara, as Lord Shiva himself. Hunger and thirst were indeed unbearable, but your absence was even more so. Your form and voice have been haunting me day and night. I saw you in my dreams every night. When arrangements were being made for my marriage, With the strength of dispassion, I left the house and came searching for you. Recently, I read a book, biography of Swami Chaitanyananda, one of Shivananda Swami's disciple. He belongs to Andhra Pradesh. Many people have many cause for Vairagya. You know how he had Vairagya? He had a dream that he is getting married. Next day, he left his house and went to Rishikesh. So, Vishnu's story is like that. He says, they were making marriage arrangements. I left. And now I searched for you everywhere. I saw you in my dreams every night. By divine grace, I reached Kāśi. Here too I sought you in every nook and corner. As the Ayurvedic healers seek out herbs in a forest. Finally, I came to know that you are at the Adikeshava temple. That is how I am here. Bhagavad-Pada said, blessed you are. Kulam pavitram janani kritartha. Vasundhara punyavati cha. Your kulam is pavitram. Your mother is blessed. The earth has become pure by your touch because you are in search of Brahmajnana. Sanandana, give bhiksha to Vishnu. When somebody comes, Bhagavan asks only one thing, have you taken food? Like that, he has come without anything to eat or drink, searching for Bhagavad-Pada. So Padmapāda Acharya with great, Sanandana with great devotion took Vishnu aside and did a namaskara to him. Sanandana was already a sannyasi. Vishnu said, no, you are a sannyasi. You should not do namaskara to me. But you are the childhood companion of our Acharya, the emperor of sages. You are a Mahatma who has a place in the heart of the great Paramahamsa. After this, one good sacred Muhurta was selected and Vishnu was given sannyasa and Mahavakya Upadesha and he was named as Chit Sukha. There are many side stories and debates about these names, about Padmapadas, everything, but we are just going by the story. Then he was given Bhiksha and all. He remained all life as Bhagavad-Pada's attendant because from childhood he knew Sankaracharya. So he was the attendant of Bhagavad-Pada. Then they started the great mission, Yatra. After many years only they will come back to Kāśi. So from there they started moving. The group mostly walked along the shores of Ganga. And we already told that the king arranged for a Vaishya. Generally, you know, these business class people, they travel a lot. So they know all languages, every place. And they know the knack of dealing with worldly people. So a Vaishya from Kāśi joined them as a guide. On the way, they passed several sacred spots sanctified by the immense tapas of innumerable sages from time immemorial, traveling across Kanyakubja and Hastinapuri. Hastinapuri is Delhi. They reached Haridwar, the gateway to Ganga. From Kāśi now they are moving. The dense forests, the snow-capped mountains and the celestial river reborn from Sejanu. These are all actually translation from Malayalam. So this is, if you go and read it in Malayalam, it will be very, very, in Hindi also I think it is of the same class. Because you can use the same Sanskrit terms there. But when it comes in English, a little difference will be there. I don't know how it is in Telugu. Kannada it will be very perfect because Sridharji has done the translation. So, the heart swan of Acharya, the seer poet, soared high in the pure transcendental realm of experience. The sheer beauty of the pure, clear, emerald green Ganga. Actually, language is also mine only. Basically, some translation was done, but many things in English also we have done that. But still, the first born words, they are very important. The sheer beauty of this pure, clear, emerald green Ganga, entwining the snow-clad mountains like the colossal divine serpent Adishesha. Sheshahehe Anukarini, as Bhagavad-Pada puts it, was indescribable. Here Ganga was like a playful little girl, giggling, bouncing up and down, prancing around in pure joy. Sanandana was deeply moved when he saw the great Jnani gazing at Ganga with adoration. He saw Acharya's eyes brimming with tears of joy and the hair on the body stand on end. Bhagirathi Sukadayini Mataha Tava Jala Mahima Nigame Kyataha. Oh, Bhagirathi. Because Bhagiratha brought Ganga down. So she is called Bhagirathi. Sukadayini, one who gives bliss. And you are being extolled by the Vedas. Gange, Yamuna, Shatudri, Saraswati, all spoken in Vedas. Devi Sureshwari Bhagavati Gange, Tribhuvanatarini Tarala Tarange, Shankara Mauli Viharini Vimale, Mamamati Rastam Tavapada Kamale. No one could be with a realized sage like Acharya and remain dull, a dry scholar, for he always experienced the splendor of Brahman even in stones, earth, rivers and forests. To him everything, animate and inanimate, pulsated godliness. Some of the ascetics who lived in the Haridwar came to welcome Acharya. Who would not offer respects to the 12-year-old Yogeshwara? Yogeshwara is only 12 years old. Just imagine that. And Haridwar is the place where so many great beings met. Bhagavata you can see in the 3rd skanda, where Vidura travels from Hastinapura and goes there and meets Maitreya Maharshi. Dvaridvinadyaha rishabhakurunam Maitreyam asinam agadha bodham Chattopasritya achyudabhava shuddhaha Papracha saushilya gunabhitriptaha. It is Dvinadyaha Dwari. It is the Dwara of Ganga. So there they met Maitreya Maharshi, Vidura. In that place, Acharya reached there and all the monks there, sannyasis, they all welcomed him. So many Tirtha Kshetras are there. Having taken bath there, he went to Rishikesh. Rishikesh, many people do not know. There is a temple. Now they call it as Bharat temple. So it is the Yajneshwara temple. Yajneshwara Vishnu, formerly. Many attacks have happened. From China, many attacks have happened formerly. That to tribals or like robbers, Islamic invasion, many invasions. But before Bhagavad-Pada's time, it was all from some other Huna Desha, like that they say. So, like during one attack, they have hidden the deity, that Yajneshwara Vishnu. So, fearing the vandalism of foreign invaders, but could not be located later. Hearing this, Acharya at once pointed to a spot in the vast river and instructed them to search for the idol there. Great Mahatmas, many have done like that. We will go into those such stories. The divine idol was retrieved from that very spot. Everyone who witnessed this was awestruck, because the devatas, they also use some great acharyas to come back to the world. So he retrieved that idol and did pratishta according Vedic injunctions. Last time when we were in Rishikesh, these temple authorities, they came and gave an invitation and we went there. And there the story is also put there. You can go and see. It's called Bharat Temple now. It's the ancient most temple in Rishikesh. So this karma, on the way, this mission naturally happens like that. Acharya Kanchi Pariva Paramacharya has done many things like that. From many places he has unearthed idols, telling them something is there, you just dig there and they will find some Shivalinga or some Vishnu, something like that. So many places they have done like that. So like that, this Yajneshwara Vishnu temple was again awakened. And then the onward journey was through uninhabited lands with dense forests. Ganga flowing on one side as if strumming a tambura. These are all very beautiful in Malayalam. The honeybees playing the melodious veena with their 6 legs as the string. The croaking forest frogs keeping time, along with the sweet cooing of the cuckoos, orchestrated a divine symphony, a feast to the ears. The sight of the thick forest was a feast to the eyes. The yogic experience of the bliss of the self was a feast to the mind. The immaculate pure white abode of snow, Himadri-dhama, sanctified by the sacred feet of many sages, and their penance was verily divine. After the darshan of ancient idol of Bhagavan Vyasa on the way, they reached Devaprayag, the confluence of Alakananda. Like that, Acharya moved towards Badri. If you read Atmatirtham, you can see one by one the spots on the way. There is one place called Virahi Ganga, the spot where Shiva did tapasya when he was separated from Sati. And Kalidasa pictures it very beautifully. Tatragnim adhaya samit samidhe swameva murtyantaram ashtamurtihi swayam vidhata tapasah phalanam kenapi kamena tapasachara. With fire on all the sides, Shiva is sitting, doing austerity, tapasya. And there Parvati, daughter of Himalayas, arrives there. So that spot also they saw. And many places there were, lot of duracharas were there, like Narabali, human sacrifice. All that Bhagavad-pada interfered and stopped and purified that spot, and thus they entered Badrikashrama. Badri is a place of tapasya. In Bhagavata you can see Krishna asked Uddhava to go to Badri. After giving him the highest teaching, he says, now you go to Badrikashrama and do tapasya there. Tapasya means what? You have now listened that you are the Atma, you are not the body. That is the teaching. In Uddhava Upadesha, Bhagavata, Krishna says, Tvam tu sarvam parityajya sneham svajana bandhushu mayaveshya manas samyak samadrik vijarasvagam. As a Samadarshi, you move about in the world. Abide in your real nature. And just go to Badri, contemplate on this truth till you realize it. Thus, Krishna asked Uddhava to go to Badri. Now Bhagavad-pada is reaching Badri. Adhityakayam naranara giryoho Antarbhavayam bhavashaki bijam jejiyate kashidabhaumate punyodaya shri badarisha samjna. This shloka is actually from Badrikashrama by Swami Tapovan Maharaj. This comes in the beginning of this chapter. So, Bhagavad went to Badri. There also the idol was not there. See, in Badri also the idol was not there. When Acharya entered the temple after a dip in the hot springs, you see a hot spring there. Some of our couple devotee, they are now in Badri. They say every day by 2 o'clock in the morning they go to the hot spring, 2:30. Take bath there and do japa. Badri 2:30, you just imagine. And the hot spring that it will be very nourishing. The water in the spring will be very hot. You can take some rice and some dal in a cloth, tie it and put it there, hold it like this, after some time it will be cooked. So you cannot directly take bath, it will be directed towards cold water and mixture will be done, then only you can take bath. So in Badri, they had their dip in hot spring, and they went to the temple. The original idol was not there. Badrikashrama was not there. Then the Brahmins there, they told, during the vandalism, invasion, Badriknath was immersed somewhere in Ganga. But after that, when peaceful days returned, we could not retrieve. So, Bhagavad became very serious, absorbed with him. And in search of the idol, he moved about here, there, and just meditated for some time. And then swiftly stood up, walked on the bank of Ganga, and went to Narada Kunda. When he was about to enter that Narada Kunda, all those local people said, no, this is the confluence of Alakananda with some other streams. The undercurrent might pull one into the deeps. See, it's not easy to take a bath in Alakananda. I have told many times the story that some Malayali people, they came with us to Badri. These Kerala people, wherever they see a pond or river, they will jump. So when they came there, it was November actually, November 6th or 7th we reached, so it's very cold. And we all got down, and suddenly I saw these people going to take bath with kerchief, with towel, etc. So I was shocked. So much Dehabhimana is not there, so much. So much power. They went out. I was wondering, I am not able to do it. Biting cold. It's almost 5 degrees or something like that. But after 2 minutes, they rushed back. Because they had no idea about the cold, because they were in the bus. Now they rushed back. So in that place, Bhagavad entered the Narada Kunda. Acharya was in an ecstatic mood and not at all conscious about others. Unmindful of their words of caution, he entered the river and in a short while came up with the sacred idol. However, the right side of the idol in Padmasana posture was found to be damaged. Hesitant that this might not be the original Badrinarayana, he put the idol back into the river and plunged into the waters once again. But this time also he came up with the same idol. When the same thing occurred a third time, Acharya said, the Lord wishes that this form is sufficient for worship in this age. Overwhelmed with devotion, the enlightened sage carried Badrisha on his shoulders. A massive crowd gathered to witness the astonishing reinstallation ceremony. Hearing the news, the king of Jyotirdhama also arrived there. Acharya himself installed Badrisha in the temple. He then worshipped Badrinarayana with flowers of beautiful verses, fragrant with divine mood. He Badrikesha Karunamaya Dina Bandho, He Bodharupa Sukhachinmaya Tattvamurte, He Naradadi Munisevita Pada Padma, Samsara Dukkha Gahanat Paripahi Vishnu, He Vedagita Girimadhyakrita Pratishtha, He Tapasali Munibhringa Nutankhripatma, He Bhakti Mukti Shamakanana Devadaro Samsara Dukkha Gahanat Paripahi Vishnu. And here he wrote the Harimedestava, very profound. Stoshye Bhaktya Vishnu Manadim Jagadadim Yasminne Tat Samsriti Chakram Brahmatitham Yasmin Drishte Nashyati Tat Samsriti Chakram Tam Samsaradhvanta Vinasham Harim Ide. I worship that Hari who will destroy the darkness of samsara. Stoshye Bhaktya Vishnum Anadim. I worship Vishnu, who is the beginningless one, who is the primordial source of this world, in whom all our samsara, its problems, everything appears, stays and disappears in that adhisthana, that substrate. When you know what is the real nature of the self, then samsara ends. Bhaja Govindam also, Bhagavad-Pada said, Jnate tatveka samsara. This samsara dream, this is a very solid movie that is happening around. The moment you go inward and inquire who is the witness of this movie, and you find what is the real nature of this I who is in samsara, the I who is suffering, the I who is enjoying, the I who is doing actions. When you know this I and you find that the I itself is not real, samsara just disappears, and only that adhisthana, that substratum, which is pure consciousness, remains. And after that also samsara reappears. It's like the Marumarichika, like the mirage in a desert. Even after seeing, the mirage will continue. The water in mirage will continue. But you know that it is not real. It's a mysterious thing. See, with the simile, with the analogy, you cannot completely understand the truth. But to understand the truth, you have to go to the real nature of the self. Once you know the self, you know that what is superimposed in it is not real. This is the only solution. The solution for dream is wake up from the dream. Otherwise, dream will continue. And the dreamer will continue. The person who is acting inside a dream is also equally unreal. And when you wake up, the dream continues with the sufferer inside the dream. He also vanishes when you wake up. So the only solution for this samsara dhvanta, dhvanta means darkness. Where does it come? That term? Dhvanta. Ajnana Dhvanta Deepikayai Namaha in Lalita Sasanam. Ajnana Dhvanta Deepika. She is the illumining light which removes the darkness of ignorance, ajnana. So, ajnana about what? About our own real nature. About our own swarupa. What is me? What is my real nature? When one knows that, samsara vanishes. But for attaining this simple thing, you need complete absorption in the truth. That is why Krishna said, if you remain in this city, it is impossible. So go to Badrikashrama. Give up all attachment. Don't go to Badrikashrama and think about your grandson. Give up everything here and go. Tvam tu sarvam parityajya sneham swajana bandhushu. These are all my relatives, my people. All these impressions will obstruct your samadhi. So give it up and meditate on this Atma Tattva. Then you will be free. Vedanta is powerful, but you need the prerequisite. That is sufficient dispassion. Without that, jnana will not stay. So that is why they went to such high altitude Himalayas. But now also people go there and construct a hotel. I don't know why they do all these things. Himalaya also, they go and 5-star hotel also you can see. Very, very sad situation now. And all the traditional people who have lived there, they are all very sad. They cannot do anything. And the government also is clueless. All rafting, maddening crowd. No sense of spirituality. In Mahabharata, there is a story when Arjuna is going to the Himalayas, one monk, one Swami, sannyasi comes and says, don't enter. This is a place for tapasya. If you are ready for that, you can come. This is not a place for worldly people to come and worship like an ordinary temple. If you want to do that, you can do that in the cities, somewhere. Because worldly people, when they crowd a place, they cannot live without comforts. And they need all comforts also will come there. And the sacred tirtha will get destroyed. So this is what they call as Kali. As Narada says in Padmapāda, Kalina adharma mitrena dhareyam badhita. This bhumi is being infected by Kali, which is adharma mitra, which is a friend to adharma. Whoever does adharma, every arrangement will be given to them. Every help will be rendered to them. So this is the sad situation there. But we can live in our dreamland. That is the freedom. The dream Badrinath, nobody can enter there. The dream Himalayas, nobody can corrupt it. The dream Ganga, nobody can pollute. So there Bhagavad-pada lived, stayed and installed the deity of Narayana there. And there was a great festival. Every devotee who heard about it, they all came there. And Badri Kshetra became vibrant with Vedic mantras and Nama Sankirtana, everything. People started pouring in for darshan of the Lord and Acharya. Acharya, who always loved solitude, left Badri Dhama for Vyāsatīrtha. The river Saraswati flowed westward by the side of Vyāsashrama. This was the place of confluence of Alakananda and Keshava Ganga. Vyāsāshrama is a large cave located in a triangular flat area at the base of Himagiri. Acharya started living in the cave with his ascetic disciples. The king of Jyotirdhama made arrangements for food and for protection from the extreme cold during winter. In this sacred environment, Acharya immersed himself in writing the bhāshyas. Initially, there were devotees, ascetics and others who came for debates and for understanding the Shastras. Thus, the writing work was interrupted very often. But as winter approached and the Himalayas became colder, that is the power of Himalayas, the number of visitors gradually diminished. Only a few local villagers came to serve. During his stay in Kāśi, Omkareshwara and Rishikesh, and also the long journey to the Himalayas, Acharya had grasped the doctrines of Shaiva, Pashupata, Sankhya, Patanjala, Vaikhanasa, Pancharatra, Saura, Shakta, Ganapatya, Jaina, Bauddha, Charvaka and other sects, and had also read their scriptures. This knowledge helped him while proposing the views of Purva Paksha in the Sutra bhāshya. So here he wrote the very ponderous volumes of Brahma Sutra, bhāshya, and the 10 Upanishads, Ishavasya, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Prashna, Mandukya, Aitareya, Taittiriya, Chandogya and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and Brahma Sutra bhāshya, and then Bhagavad Gita bhāshya. All these Prasthana Traya we say, this is the foundation of Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma. So after writing these texts, he was continuing his writing, and some other small bhāshyas also he wrote. Then one day, there is a very beautiful incident. Acharya was always very affectionate to Sanandana. Sanandana was a great devotee. So, of course, many disciples will be there around a guru. Somehow, mysteriously, there is an element called jealousy which disturbs the mind even of good people. Sometimes people openly express also, we are jealous. That is very difficult. So this problem arises everywhere. So many used to feel that Acharya is showing more love, affection towards Sanandana. So Acharya wanted to reveal the greatness of this disciple. So one day, Sanandana was doing some service to Bhagavad-Pada, washing his clothes in the river, Ganga. And Acharya was on this side, teaching his disciples. While they have already started the teaching, from here Acharya called, Sanandana, come. In between is the river. Very fast, thunderous, roaring river. But when Sankaracharya called, Sanandana just rushed. He didn't even look what will happen to him, the river. And when other devotees were looking at him, they felt each step that is putting on the river, there is like something like a lotus is blossoming. No danger came, he just crossed the river and came this side. And prostrated before Bhagavad-Pada, Acharya placed his hand on Sanandana's head and blessed him, saying, "You will surely become a Brahmanishta." With so much Shraddha and devotion to the Guru, listening to the Mahavakya just once will grant the awareness, I am Brahman. Vedanta, bhakti is so important. The greatest thing is in fact bhakti. The bhakti of disciple makes him an enlightened being. So much bhakti is there, one word from master is enough. Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatraya unmulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Kimba Paraihi Ishvaraha Sadyo Hridi Avarudhyate Trakritibihi Shushrushubihi Takshanat. When true bhakti is there, mind is pure, Sadhya means instantaneously Ishvara, God or Brahman will shine forth in the heart. Even listening once, if the mind is sufficiently pure, no conflict, no doubt, no ignorance, such a mind absorbs the truth so quickly. So this Bhagavad-Pada blessed Sanandana like that. Swami Vivekananda had a disciple. No, I don't remember exactly who was that disciple. Before his Mahasamadhi, Swamiji one day told him to buy a cow from the other side of the river. So he bought a cow, and you have to bring the cow in the boat. You have to cross this side, no bridge. So the Ganga was also in spate. And especially there, Ganga will flow both sides. Sometimes high tide, Ganga will go this side. Otherwise, heavy rain, there will be great flow towards the ocean. From the boat, the cow jumped into the river. And this disciple, he also jumped. He did not leave the cow. He held to the cow, and in that spate he went here, there, holding the cow. At last brought the cow to the mud. Nishayananda, yes. I think he is the person he belongs to somewhere, Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh, somewhere. Actually, when Swami Vivekananda came back after his Western work, when first he landed in Rameshwaram, and he was going in the train to Chennai, on the way somewhere, a village, people all assembled in the railway station. That is not a place where the train will stop. They all were lying down on the track, so that the train will stop, just to have a glimpse of him. So the train had to stop. And there Swami came out. They all see this Nishayananda at that time was working in military or police or something. Then he saw Swamiji walked behind the train. Thus he walked up to Calcutta. See, this is spiritual longing. No? He walked up to Calcutta. It's kind of mad bhakti, strong bhakti. There then he took sannyas and worked. And no wonder. That kind of determination, no? So, here Bhagavad-pada gave Sanandana the name Padmapāda. Wherever you put your feet, their lotus will blossom. That means, to whomever you give Upadesha, their heart will blossom. So, Pada is the name. The Tirtha, Saraswati, all this came later on. So, Pada, Bhagavad-pada, Padmapāda, Govinda Bhagavad-pada, Gauda-pada, like that. So, here he gave Padmapāda the name, and he said, to whomever you teach, his heart lotus will blossom. So, that Guru Bhakti gave the way for him to attain the highest. And now, there happened a conversation with Sankaracharya and his disciples, between Sankaracharya and his disciples, that we will see tomorrow. The essence of bhāshya that we will see tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.